I'm Shayna, and today we're going to be doing a loving kindness meditation throughout our practice, sending a little love and kindness throughout our bodies, throughout our mind, and maybe out into the world. Let's begin seated. Remember that you should never feel any pain in any of these positions or with any of these movements. So if something's causing you pain or intense discomfort, please change, modify, leave out whatever you need to do to make sure that you have a painless, happy practice. With that in mind, sit up nice and tall. Let's take a couple of deep cleansing breaths in. Begin to hold in your mind a thought, a feeling, a memory, something that brings you feelings of love. It could be a time when you felt loved, or a time when you expressed love. See if for just a moment you can re-experience, re-feel those sensations. Feel them, excuse me, feel them so intensely that you might even feel your mouth beginning to smile and curve upward. With every inhalation, imagine for just a moment that you can inhale to draw in and fill up with love. As you inhale, feel your heart filling up like a cup filled with water. Each breath in helps you to fill up just a little bit more. With each breath in, feel yourself grow a little happier, a little lighter. With each exhale, feel yourself grow a little more stable, a little more secure, a little more rooted. Now for just a moment, take your focus to a time of kindness. A time when someone helped you or you helped someone else, purely for the sake of being kind. Maybe it's something as simple as a smile when someone needed it the most. With each breath in, feel as though you're drawing in kindness, goodness, all things positive, feeling yourself fill up even more. With each exhale, feel yourself rooted, grounded down into the earth. Feel these feelings so intensely that you might even feel that smile begin to broaden a little bit more. Feeling as though your cup is about full, your heart is about full of as much love and kindness as it can hold. And then take the hands to the heart for just a moment. Pressing palms together, thumbs press into the sternum. All of your focus right there in the chest. Full and complete. You have everything you need. Begin to deepen your breath, taking in as much air as you can possibly take comfortably. And then pausing for just a moment before exhaling. Slowly letting the air naturally exit the lungs without any force or any effort. pausing at the end of the exhale, and then taking a full deep breath in, pausing again, slowly exhaling, pausing at the end of the exhale, slowly inhaling deeply, pause, and exhale. Allowing your breath to normalize, but still being aware of each of the 4 parts of the breath: the inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. Not trying to force or change, just being aware of the flow of the breath. Then bring to mind your intention, what you hope to achieve from your yoga practice today. Imagine that you've already achieved that, whether it's a sense of peace, some self-love, flexibility, health benefits, whatever it is. See if you can put it into an I am statement. I am flexible. I am at peace. Imagine that you can feel it or see it right now. Slowly release those arms back down. Gently we're going to move through the spine, taking the shoulders over to the left, reaching through that left shoulder. Take your gaze to the right. Take your gaze to the left. Take your gaze back forward, and as you do, reach your heart forward. Take your gaze to the right. Take your gaze to the left. Gaze comes back forward, and as you do, reach that right shoulder to the right. Gaze to the left. Gaze to the right. Back forward, and as you come forward, reach that spine gently back. Not all the way back yet. Just a slight arch in the back as we take our gaze down to the pelvis. Gently lifting up to the ceiling. Just a couple of nods here. As our chin comes back to our chest, gently turning the gaze side to side over one shoulder and then the other. Breathing deeply. Take it back over to the left shoulder, reaching through that shoulder. Gaze over right shoulder. Breathing deeply. On the next exhale, taking it back into our little arched back, our seated cat pose. Breathing deeply. And taking it over to the right, reaching through that right shoulder. Gaze over left. Gaze over right. Taking it back forward, reaching that heart forward, drawing those shoulders back. Hands can gently rest on knee. Draw those shoulders back, those elbows back and in. Heart reaches forward just a little bit more. Deep breath in. Exhale, push it over to the left. Gaze goes right and left. As it comes back through center, arch that back, taking it back into our cat pose. Hands are gently resting on the knees, not clenching. Reach through that spine a little bit more. Tuck that chin just a little bit further. Breathing deeply. Taking it over to the right, reaching that right shoulder over. Gaze over left. Gaze over right. Gaze back to center. Deep breath in. On the exhale, coming back through our cat pose, really reaching through the spine, drawing those shoulders a little farther forward, a little farther in. Gently turning the head side to side. Nodding yes and no. Maybe even making a couple of circles in one direction and the other. On the next inhale, sitting straight back up, drawing those shoulders and elbows back, opening through the heart just a little bit more, and adding whatever movement through the neck feels best for you. Take that gaze back through center. Deep breath in. As you exhale, reach that heart farther forward. Draw those shoulders back, really opening through the chest here. Keeping those shoulders drawing back. As you inhale, lift through the crown of the head, coming back up through seated. Relax those shoulders. Let's take those shoulders forward, up, back, and down, just gently rolling through the shoulders in one direction. And then reversing, going the other way. And one more time, lifting them up, back, holding them up and back for just a moment. Deep breath in. As you exhale, relax the shoulders down. Slowly making your way back up to standing. Becoming aware of your feet, taking your feet maybe about hip width apart. Lifting toes, spreading them wide, sinking them back down into the earth. We want to create as much awareness in our feet today as we can as we gently rock forward and back, feeling that weight shift and adjust. Being aware of our balance. Noticing how steady we are. Shifting our weight left to right. Noticing how the muscles of the legs accommodate and adapt to hold us up. And then gently making small circles, working through the ankles just a little bit, maybe even bending through the knees some. Fully aware of where every pound is pressing down through the heels. And as we come back towards the toes, let's reverse that direction, taking a couple circles the other way. Let's see if we can begin to evenly distribute that weight. Lift those toes again, spread them nice and wide. Let them sink back down into the earth. Begin to draw your thighs together, tilt that tailbone down, lift that pelvis, press your feet into the earth, lift the crown of the head even higher. Deep breath in. As you exhale, feel the feet press firmly into the earth, weight distributed across the entire sole of each foot. As much weight in the back corner of the heel as there is in the opposite front corner of the ball of the foot. Fully distributed weight. Imagine for a moment that you're a tree. We're going to begin to draw energy up through our feet, imagining that we're drawing nutrients in through our roots. As you inhale, feel that energy traveling up through the legs, up to the belly, up to the heart. Exhale, feel those roots growing lower as we send that energy back down through the legs, through the feet, down into the earth. One more time, inhaling, drawing that energy up through the feet, up to the heart. As you exhale, reach those arms up high, growing branches with that newfound energy, that newfound life. Fingertips raise up, wiggle those fingertips, find some freedom in the hands, in the wrists. Draw those shoulders back and down. Continue to lift through the crown of your head. Breathing deeply here in our extended mountain pose. And just as the mountain is strong and tall and stable, begin to feel yourself stabilize here. As you inhale, wiggle the fingertips, creating a little bit of kinetic energy here. Now imagine that you can take that energy and send it all the way down through the feet. Take a deep breath in, reach those fingertips high. As you exhale, visualize sending that energy straight down the arms, down the shoulders, down the back, down through the legs, into the ground. Inhale, drawing energy all the way up from the ground, through the torso, up through the crown of the head, up through the fingertips, lifting you even taller. Breathing deeply, imagining that you can feel the energy surging upward and downward, connecting you to the earth. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, half forward fold, bending through the knees, taking the hands to the thighs, reaching the crown of the head, reaching the hips back, creating some space for the vertebrae. We're going to really push those hips back as we begin to lift them a little bit higher. Walk the hands down to the shins. Knees can stay slightly bent if your hamstrings and your calves are still a little bit tight. Keep that bend in the knees as much as you need, deepening it or lessening it as you walk the hands down to the ankles and the feet. Letting your head begin to relax a little bit more. Rotating it out. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, bending through those elbows, letting those arms dangle or rest. Using as little effort as you can to hold yourself here in this position. And if the arms are dangling, you can even interlace them. Let them just hang looped around the elbows or grasping elbows. Breathing deeply here, noticing all that contact with the earth. Once again, visualizing as we inhale, let's feel that energy surging up through the legs, encouraging our hips to lift just a little bit higher. As we exhale, feel that energy grow a little heavier, travel down the torso, down through the arms. Letting your torso hang a little bit more. Gently rocking side to side in a ragdoll. It can be a big movement left to right. It can be a very slight movement. Or if you're not feeling it, just find some stillness here. Let the only movement be from the internal parts of your body. Release those arms down, slowly rolling up just like a garage door. Letting those shoulders and that head hang down, be as heavy as possible. On the next inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, fingertips reach up, shoulders draw back and down. Begin to draw those thumbs back just a little bit farther. Gaze can lift up to the ceiling, up to the fingertips, or can remain forward, lifted just a little bit. Finding your most stable position here. Opening through the heart by drawing those shoulders back just a little bit more. One more deep breath in. On the exhale, forward fold. Hands come all the way down to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Hands can come to shins, thighs, or if you prefer, they can come to the ground. Wherever those hands are, begin to reach the hips back and reach the crown of the head forward, creating some more space in the vertebrae. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Take that chest down to the thighs once again. Hands rest on the mat, bending through the knees as needed. Step it back with the right leg. Wiggling that foot back as far as you need to get it to come into your lunge. Holding here for just a moment. Not forcing, not resisting, Just taking a moment to be aware of how the body feels on this first lunge. Noticing where you're feeling tension, what muscles are starting to quiver just a little bit, what muscles are maybe a little bored because they're not being used. Give those muscles permission to begin to relax just a little bit more. Breathing deeply. Begin to draw that right hip, that back hip forward, that front hip, that left hip backwards, squaring the hips up a little bit more with the front of the mat. Deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly lowering that right knee back down to the earth. Coming into our low lunge. Taking your focus to the hips, to the fronts of the thighs, to the glutes. Being aware of each of these areas. Seeing if we can relax those particular areas just a little bit more. As you inhale, fill the heart and chest and lungs with air. As you exhale, feel those hips grow a little bit heavier. Letting those hips sink a little close to the earth as the stretch begins to deepen. Taking a small twist here, we're going to walk the right hand in closer to that left foot. We're going to take that left hand up to the left knee. Very gently, very slowly here, beginning to twist, beginning to lift that left shoulder up a little higher, maybe taking the gaze up to the ceiling. If you're feeling wobbly, always take that gaze back down to the ground, finding something that's not moving. It can be a knot in the wood of your floor. It can be a speck of dust. Whatever you find on the ground to help stabilize you. Breathing deeply. With each exhale, imagining those hips growing a little heavier, sinking a little bit lower. One more deep breath. If you want to go even farther, press that foot into the earth. Begin to gently draw those thighs together as you lift that other arm up, pressing down into the palm, lifting through the fingertips up above you, deepening that stretch by drawing that top shoulder back just a little bit further, breathing deeply. One more deep breath. On the exhale, returning both hands to the ground. Slowly, we're going to reach those hips back and forward. Just a gentle rocking motion here, beginning to release any tension that's built up in the hips and the thighs. And now as we go back again, let's walk the hands back one step. And if you have blocks, this is a great place to use our blocks to help us get back a little bit farther. Or you can bend gently through the knee to help you get back just a little bit more. Taking our hips over our back knee. If you need a little more space, wiggling that front leg, that front heel farther forward so you can fully extend the leg if you need the space to do so, if the body is ready to extend. Wherever you are, breathing deeply. One more deep breath in, and we lower our chest towards our thigh. Avoiding taking that back hip back and twisting. We want to keep drawing that left hip, that front hip, back as we lower down. Nice deep stretch through the leg. Remembering not to hyperextend that extended leg. Keep just a softness, a slight bend through that front leg. One more deep breath here. As you exhale, press those palms into the earth, lift up. Coming back to a bent knee in the front as we shift our hips forward. We're going to tuck our toes, lift that back knee to give us a little bit more space, slide, step, or walk that foot back to meet the other, coming into plank or low plank, your choice. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reach the crown of your head forward, bend through the elbows, lower all the way down. Maybe even letting the head come down to rest on the floor. Hands are back under shoulders, if that's comfortable for your body. If it's not, go ahead and just let the arms come down to rest on the ground. Taking just a moment to notice the hips, the thighs, the glutes, all those muscles we were just working. Noticing how the left side feels in comparison to the right. What areas feel looser, more relaxed, more tired, more or less engaged? Adjusting those hands so that they're under the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, press into the palms, lift just the top few ribs off the ground as the shoulders draw back and down, the elbows reach in towards the ribs, gaze forward in our low cobra here. So we're going to do our most restful cobra that we can possibly do. Using as little effort as we can. We could even lift those hands up off the earth and we're not going anywhere. Little to no effort. Breathing deeply. Now let's begin to engage. Reach one foot back at a time. And then press those feet down into the earth, beginning to engage the feet, the thighs, the hips, everything pressing down. Slowly and gently as you inhale, press down into your palms, lift the crown of your head a little higher, coming into a slightly higher cobra. Shoulders draw back and down, elbows reach in, breathing deeply, gaze is still forward. Noticing each muscle that's beginning to work here. Seeing if you can find any that are still just relaxing and begin to engage them too. Gently squeezing the glutes, gently squeezing the biceps, pressing the hands into the earth to activate the triceps. Breathing deeply. One more breath in. And on the exhale, slowly lowering down. If your cheek was on the ground last time, lowering the opposite cheek down. You need to relax as much as you can. Taking just a moment, this opportunity, to notice anything in your body that's still a little tight. Seeing if maybe you can tell it with your mind to relax just a little. Pressing into our palms, we're going to push our hips back. Coming over the heels, coming into a child's pose. Walking the hands back as needed. Forehead can come to the ground if we have the room. Arms continue to reach overhead. Breathing deeply. With each exhale, feeling your torso grow a little bit heavier. Maybe even sighing it out here in this restful pose. Letting yourself let go just a little bit more. Taking the hands back, reaching for the heels, reaching for the toes. Letting the shoulders begin to roll and relax forward. Maybe even taking one hand to rest on top of the hip, or both hands. You can even interlace the fingers. Letting the shoulders grow a little heavier. Gently rocking side to side on the forehead, massaging that brow, that third eye. If the hands are interlaced, maybe wiggling them a little closer together. As you inhale, reach those hands away, drawing those shoulders back and down. Taking each of these variations with love, with gratitude that you're able to do them. And for any that you're not, being appreciative that your body has brought you this far in today's practice. Knowing that it's all a journey, not a destination. We're here to experience, not to reach a certain point or a certain pose. But if those hands are interlaced and you want to open through the shoulders just a little bit more, as you inhale, lift those hands a little higher, reaching them up towards the sky. Holding here for just a few breaths. Wherever your arms are, one more deep breath. And on the exhale, feel yourself grow heavier than ever, shoulders reaching down towards the earth. Slowly walking your hands back towards the top of the mat. Reaching those fingertips high, drawing those shoulders into their sockets, pulling your elbows towards one another, rotating through those arms to protect the shoulder. Pressing into the earth, we're going to lift up slowly. Shift our weight forward, coming to our low plank. Tuck your toes. Lift the knees, legs can stay bent or not, and we're going to step that right leg forward back into a lunge. Holding here for just a moment, fully aware. Breathing deeply. Slowly drawing that right hip back, that left hip forward. Beginning to relax as much as you can. Lowering that left knee down to the earth. Letting those hips sink a little lower. Breathing deeply. Fully aware of each of the muscles. Noticing just where you're feeling a stretch. See if you can relax through those hips just a little bit. Letting them grow a little heavier, sink a little bit lower. Slowly walking that left hand in a little closer to the right foot. We're going to come into our twist. Start slow. Take the right hand to the right knee. Slowly rotating through the torso. Drawing that right shoulder back just a little bit more. Gaze can go up to the ceiling. Or if you're feeling unsteady, keep that gaze down. Find a steady, unmoving point. Something to rest your gaze on. Breathing deeply. Continuing to draw that top shoulder back. Being aware of that hip stretching. Gently drawing those thighs together to help stabilize you. If you want to go a little deeper, take that right hand up to the ceiling. Press that palm into the earth as the other fingertips lift a little higher. Breathing deeply. One more deep breath here. As we exhale, take that hand back down to the ground, readjusting the hands. Tuck that back toe, lift that knee, slide, step, or walk that foot back up to the front. Inhale, half lift. Hands come up to the thighs this time. Draw those shoulders back and down. Gently begin to bend through the knees. Begin to engage that core as you tuck your tailbone under, draw your belly button in, lift the crown of your head a little higher, coming into a supported chair here. As you exhale, reach those hips back and down, lift the crown of the head up a little higher. Weight shifts back into the ball of the foot and the heel. Toes lift, spread them wide, and press them down into the earth. Deep breath in. Exhale, sit a little deeper. We should feel the muscles beginning to work, maybe tremble a little, but we shouldn't feel any pain. We should feel the work coming from the muscles, not the joints. If this becomes too intense for you, just make your way back into a ragdoll. One more deep breath here. As you exhale, sink a little lower. As you inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, coming up to extended mountain. Gaze lifts, fingers lift, shoulders draw back and down, thumbs draw back, opening through the heart. Breathing deeply. Becoming aware of each of the hips, each of the thighs. Press your palms together, bring your hands down to your heart. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release those hands down. Noticing how each side of your body feels. If it feels a little more even than when you were on your stomach, only one hip stretched out. Inhale, sweep the hands back up overhead, draw those thumbs back, fingers lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step it back with the left leg. Coming into our lunge. This time, instead of going to a low lunge, we're going to do a high lunge. Begin to tuck that tailbone under, engage that core. Instead of sweeping back straight up, let's do it slowly. Press into that front foot. Slowly take your hands up to your thigh and knee. Begin to press into those hands, lifting the torso up, feeling that stretch through the back thigh. Breathing deeply. If this is too intense for you, one hand or both hands can come back down to the floor. If you're nice and steady here, one hand or both hands can reach up to the sky. Breathing deeply. With each exhalation, feeling your hips, your feet sink a little lower, a little deeper into the earth. Hold and breathe. On the next exhale, hands return to the earth if they're not there already. Step that back foot in, just a step. Pressing that heel down into the earth. We're going to draw that front knee, that front hip back. That back hip forward, letting that heel adjust however it needs to. That left toe reaching up, pointing up towards the front left corner of the mat. Engage that core again, and either walk or sweep the hands back up overhead. Coming into our warrior one. Breathing deeply. Extend through that front leg. Press down into the heels. Draw those thighs together for a moment. Engage those glutes, being aware of each of these muscles in our body. Hands relax down to hips. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, reach the heart forward rather than down. Reach those hips back. Hands can come to rest on thighs, wherever feels best for you. Slowly beginning to reach the crown of the head forward, lowering the torso down just a little. until you feel a nice deep stretch through the legs. Hands might even come to rest on the floor. Breathing deeply. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, reach those hips back. Take your chest a little closer to the thighs. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back and down. Keep drawing that front hip back, that back hip forward. And a forward folding, intense stretch here. Pyramid pose. One more deep breath. On the exhale, gently bend through the knee. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend through the knee. Holding here. You can come out whenever your body needs it, or try to hold for about 5 more breaths. Gently bending through that front knee. We're going to lift that heel up, step it back forward. Grabbing opposite elbows. We're going to generously bend through one knee and then the other as we take a ragdoll side to side. Take the hands back down to the ground. Step it back with the right leg. Going for our high lunge on this side. Begin to draw the thighs towards one another. Press the feet down into the earth. Tuck that tailbone, engage the core. Deep breath in. Hold for a moment. Now when you're ready, either walk or sweep your hands up. Everything engaged. Tuck that tailbone under a little bit more. Draw those shoulders down. Reach those hips down towards the earth. Either one hand, both hands, or no hands up. If this isn't working for you today, keep those hands down low. Drawing that back hip forward, that front hip back. Breathing deeply. Holding for just one more breath. Exhale, hands back down to the earth. Step that back foot forward just a step. That front hip back, that back hip forward, and relax that back heel down to the earth. Nice bend through that front knee. Back toes pointed up towards the front corner of the mat. Engage that core and either walk or sweep the arms back up overhead, back into our warrior one. Deep breath in. Exhale, lower those hips a little bit lower. Breathing deeply. Both feet flat on the earth, fully supporting you. Noticing where you're making contact with the earth. And if you start to wobble, see if you can adjust. One more deep breath. As you exhale, press that front foot into the earth, extend that leg. Hands can come down to hips. Inhale, reach that heart forward. Draw those shoulders back. Breathing deeply, aligning those hips. Hands can stay on the hips or can come down to the thigh, the shin, or even the floor as you begin to lower a little deeper into this pose. Breathing deeply. Fully aware of every muscle that's working or stretching. Inhaling, reaching the crown of the head forward. Exhaling, taking those hips back, that chest a little lower. Noticing that front knee, making sure we're not locking it out. Noticing that back knee, making sure we can gently bend and extend it. One more deep breath in, reach that crown of the head forward. Exhale, shift those hips back, chest reaches down. Breathing deeply. Holding here, knowing you can come out at any point in time. Gently bend through that front knee and extend once again. Breathing deeply as we lower down. Feeling a nice deep stretch here. You can come out whenever you want. We're going to try to stay for 5 more breaths. On the next exhale, slowly bending through that front knee. We're going to step, walk, slide, however we need to get it there. Taking both feet up to the front of the mat. Gently bending through one knee and the other. We're going to lower those hips a little lower, bend through those knees a little bit more. You can either walk the hands up to knees or sweep the hands up. Engage that core, tuck that tailbone, deep breath in, hands go up. Exhale, hips go low. Holding here for just a few breaths. One more breath. As you exhale, take those hands back down to the earth, extend those legs. Inhale, slowly rolling back up to standing. Taking a couple of shoulder rolls in each direction once you've reached the top. Deep breath in, inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, exhale, hands down to the ground, stepping one foot back and taking that knee down to the ground, taking that other knee to the ground, and gently pushing back into a hero's pose, sitting up nice and tall, drawing shoulders back and down. Gently stretching through the tops of the feet, pressing the feet into the earth as you lift the crown of the head a little higher. Walking your hands forward, tucking the toes, and then walking the hands back. Now you may not want to come all the way back up. That might not work for your body, so stay low. If your body needs more of a stretch, walk one hand or both hands onto the thighs. Reach those hips back, pressing down into the balls of the feet, feeling those feet stretch, knowing they've already worked hard today. Taking our hands back down to the ground, walking the knees back. Take a deep breath in, sweeping one arm up and to the side, coming into a little twist here as you exhale. Threading our needle here, reaching that hand through the hole and coming down. Shoulder can rest on the earth. Feeling the stretching through the back, through the shoulder. Breathing deeply. You can extend that bent arm up overhead, maybe even walking it back in the opposite direction to deepen the stretch if needed. Deep breaths here. Walking that hand back and in. Pressing into that palm to release that shoulder, coming back through our tabletop. Gently adding some organic movement here, releasing any tension that we're still holding in the body. Before sweeping the opposite arm up on the inhale, exhale, threading it through. Reaching those fingertips far as we bring that shoulder down to rest on the earth. We can walk that other hand up high, extending through that arm. Slowly walking that arm back to deepen the stretch if needed. Remembering that these are all just options for you to find your best stretch. Think of them as detours. Sometimes we have to take the detour, sometimes we don't. Find out where your body wants to be going. Breathing deeply here. Slowly walking that hand back and in, pressing into the earth. Slowly coming back up to our tabletop, gently wiggling, moving. Finding any parts of our body that are still holding tension. Seeing if we can let go of just a little of that. And then slowly coming down onto our backs, however it feels best to get there for you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest, gently rocking side to side. And as we rock over to one direction, let those knees come down to rest on the ground. Let your arms sweep back up and over. Noticing how much space is between your shoulder and the ground. Gently beginning to take these knees a little lower, letting that shoulder relax back and down. Taking the knees a little lower if you need to, so that the shoulders can fully relax into the earth. Taking your gaze over that extended arm. Continuing to slowly extend those legs until you can gently roll back onto your back. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, take your knees to your chest, gently rocking side to side. As you go over in the opposite direction, gently rolling over, letting those legs come down to rest on the floor, taking that shoulder back. Maybe there's a great big gap. We're going to gently lower those knees until once again we can roll that shoulder flat to the earth. Doesn't matter how high those knees are. We're wanting a nice deep twist, and to do that we've got to get that shoulder down. Take that gaze over that extended arm. Breathing deeply here. Slowly taking those heels a little bit lower until we can roll back onto our back. Adjusting to get nice and flat. One more deep breath in. Exhaling, taking knees to chest. Take those knees wide, gently rock it out. Taking your variation of a happy baby, whatever it may be. And then taking any final movements that you need for your body before coming into your variation of Shavasana. Whatever final resting pose you need. Allow your focus to return to your breath. Once again, visualizing that you can inhale love, happiness, kindness, goodness, positivity, whatever good, positive things you want to breathe into your life. Feel them filling up your heart, your lungs, your entire torso. With each breath you draw them in. With each breath you fill up. Continue to feel yourself more overflowing, more and more in your torso, in your lungs, in your heart, until every last corner, every nook and cranny is completely full. Knowing that you deserve happiness, love, and kindness. Either repeating these words or just listening to them, knowing them to be true. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be loved. May you be free from harm. Allowing yourself to visualize the people or the person who means the most to you. Someone in your life who you know needs a little extra love, a little extra kindness. As you inhale, feel yourself brimming with love and kindness. With each inhale, you overflow just a little bit more. Imagine that you can send some of that love and kindness to the person you know who needs it. Repeating in your mind as you send them that love and kindness. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you know love. May you know peace. May you be free from harm. Visualizing the people that you don't usually think about. Acquaintances, people around your community, such as the mailman, the checkout clerk, the waitress. These people that you likely don't even know their names. Sending out a little love, kindness, some positivity to these individuals in this difficult time. Inhaling, still feeling yourself brimming with this love and kindness. Send a little to them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you know peace. May you know love. May you be free from harm. Now visualizing someone who tries your patience. Someone who makes your life difficult. Someone that either some days or most days you just really don't like being around. knowing that that person too needs love and kindness in their life. Inhaling, filling yourself brimming with love and kindness. Direct a little to this person who maybe needs it most of all. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you know peace. May you know love. And may you be free from harm. As you continue to breathe deeply, continuing to fill up and overflow with that love, that kindness, that positivity. Feel it traveling down through your extremities, through your arms, through your legs, through your fingers and your toes. Swirling around in your mind, feeling yourself grow even heavier, breathing deeply. Slowly beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, gently bending through the elbows and the knees, rotating through the wrists and the ankles, sending a little love and a little kindness to each of your joints. Making a couple of circles with the knees one way and the other. Gently reawakening, giving a little thanks for all our bodies do for us. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Thanking the body as you rock side to side for all that it does for you. And then slowly, however feels best to you, begin to make your way back up into a seated position. As always, thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.